All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to the evening watch list report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist. I'm not going to hold you long. This is a very quick video because guess what? The markets are in a holding pattern for tomorrow. All right, just going to have to wait to see. Let's see here. Hey, my friend just recorded intro to series in my podcast. Probably got about 9 or 10 more recordings to go before we launch it, and I'm sure at some point I will be referencing you. Sure, man, that's cool. No problem, man. Do what you do. I'm honored. All right, so holding pattern. Nothing's happening until these reports in the morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, that's when everything jumps off. We got CPI, PPI, we got retail sales, all of that stuff. All of that stuff. Yep, that's cool too, man. I appreciate that. Good looking out. Yep, the link to the documentary will be awesome. Thanks, my brother. All right, so we only have a couple of charts tonight because, like I said, everything's in a holding pattern. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to take a look at what you can expect for tomorrow. Now, we don't know what the numbers are going to look like, number one. And number two, we also don't know what the market's response is going to be to whatever numbers come out. All right. And we also don't know what the revisions are going to be and look like after the fact. Because, whenever they put numbers out, then there's always these revisions and things of that nature. So a lot of quirkiness can come into play. We also don't know what kind of spin doctrine is going to take place. If the news is bad, how are they going to spin it? If retail sales is horrific, will they say, well, that's because someone missed the bus on the way to work? Some kind of outlandish explanation that doesn't even make sense. Who knows? So because of that, the key things you need to watch for tomorrow. I have 5 charts. These 5 charts are going to determine and dictate everything else. Mark my words. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at these quick 5 charts and then we're going to call it a night. All right. So the thing you need to look for tomorrow, what you need to watch for tomorrow. All right. We have a crash alert on the S&P futures and the Dow futures. We do not have any crash alerts on the Russell or the NASDAQ 100. Doesn't mean that the markets won't try to go down. I'm just saying those two have crash alerts. All right. The others don't. All right. The Dow and the NASDAQ 100 broke out and started post waving positive. Okay. Again, that's just those markets. It's not including the other markets. So when you have a mix like that, you got to take it for what it is. So once again, longs were triggered on the S&P, Dow, and the NASDAQ, not the Russell. But we have crash alerts tomorrow, which is weird, for the S&P futures and for the Dow futures. I know it's weird, okay? So it's looking like the Dow is maybe ready to reverse and take the S&P with it, but the NASDAQ is not showing any of that, and the Russell isn't either. It's just a weird turn of events. So the 3 longs did trigger, but then we got these alerts. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I think that perhaps these 2 indicators are going to be 3 to 5 days out. So I think we have a push higher tomorrow and maybe even Thursday, and then a take back Friday will be significant. All right. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it from my viewpoint right now. So the charts that you need to look at tonight is the US dollar index. Now you can see it still has a bullish trend momentum reading. It's still in a bull market, locked in, and we're still above the Kumo cloud. All right. Prices did kind of stabilize after drifting even lower than the prior day's low. But nevertheless, you're still in this sideways holding pattern, but you're still in a locked in bull market. All right. So I'm anticipating that tomorrow the dollar will start to ease back up, will start to inch back up higher, maybe even get a rally out of it. All right. So your risk tomorrow is not to the downside for the dollar, but to the upside. Now I know what you're thinking. Back here, right? When we got our first purple bearish algo shift, it was after a significant drop. And some people may think we're going to do that again tomorrow. Anything can happen. I just don't see the likelihood of that happening at this point in time. Not the way things have been moving. All right. So just want to give you the heads up on that. The dollar, I'm expecting to get stronger tomorrow. The next thing you need to be concerned about tomorrow is gold. Gold still has the bullish algo shift on it after today's close, but it still has that bearish trend momentum reading, and we had a negative bot check the day prior. So believe it or not, the risk right now is to the downside for gold. Even if you get a short-term pop tomorrow, all right, you can't negate this negative bot check or the bearish trend momentum reading. The bullish algo shift can push prices higher on the initial reaction to the news tomorrow, but I still say the downside risk for your gold is still there. Likewise, when you take a look at silver, you'll see here you still have the bearish trend momentum reading and you still have the bullish algo shift, but the day prior you had that negative bot check here too. I believe even on a knee-jerk reaction, if you get a little bit of a rally or what have you, the risk for gold and silver is still to the downside for now. All right, so you have to prepare for that eventuality as well. Not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, just saying that the odds are not good for a bullish scenario, especially with the dollar possibly powering up. Then we have Bitcoin futures. It's still in the Kumo cloud. It still has a bearish trend momentum reading, but you still have the bullish algo shift keeping the prices afloat for now. But again, the risk is to the downside for the Bitcoin futures, folks. And then last but not least, our final chart of the evening, Ethereum futures. Bearish trend momentum reading, and you see that the price action is still dangling like it's getting ready to fall off the cliff. All right, the risk is to the downside for Ethereum futures as well. All right, now I do see you, Gmo. I got you. Give me just one quick second. I'll hook you up. Let's see here. H-T-O-O. Fusion Fuel. Yep, I knew it. I just didn't remember the name, but I remember the ticker. All right, so we're going to get that Fusion Fuel up for you, and then we'll call it a night. All right, so here we go. So we have back-to-back rally alerts. You had one coming into today, and now you have another one on today's close. A rally alert for tomorrow's trading. Just keep in mind, the $1.50 overhead resistance is real. All right. That is not just a psychological resistance, but it's also the top of the Kumo cloud here, but the bottom of the Kumo cloud there. So that's a significant layer of resistance. Then you have in the days coming, in the weeks ahead, you're going to have more selling pressure pushing down on the price action that could possibly get it back below $1. So just be careful on this. If you are a Pulse Wave subscriber to the attack reports, I do believe this security is on the report. If you do not see it and you like for me to add it, just shoot me a line in the Discord or the Slack room chat. All right. All right, folks, like I said, nothing new is being done. I'm not adding any new positions going into these big numbers. I'm holding what I have for right now. I'm not doing anything new until we know what how the dust is going to settle tomorrow. So nothing new, but I do feel comfortable holding what we have. Okay, so just be ready. Be ready for anything tomorrow. All right. Remember, the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And on that note, I am out. Peace.